For those that don't know me, hi, I'm Tanglu, and I make Minecraft sustainability videos. I currently upload videos for two series, Minecraft Explains, which uses Minecraft to explain a sustainability related topic, and Sustainer Runs, where I challenge a fellow YouTuber or speedrunner to beat the game as sustainably as possible. This video is going to be something different. It's going to be a little bit like a diary entry, so do let me know in the comments if this is something you guys enjoy. Around this time last year, I gave myself a challenge to learn a new skill. Initially, I wanted to learn boxing, but as the title insinuates, I'm not here to talk about boxing. Instead, I wanted to focus on the reason behind wanting to learn a new skill. You see, I like being comfortable, and comfort for me stems from being good at something. Growing up, I played sports and musical instruments. The only reason why I kept up with them growing up wasn't exactly because I enjoyed the sport or the instrument per se, but it was because I enjoyed being good at something. I enjoyed winning and being better than other people, because deep down that was where I placed my worth. In other words, I am really bad at being bad, and quite frankly, a sore loser. Fast forward to September 2024, and hashtag graduate unemployment gave me a lot of time to learn a new skill. Learning boxing didn't really work out because at the time, I took a lot of pride in being good at whatever I wanted to do. In my head, if I wasn't going to be good at something, I won't do it. The thought of being bad killed my mental, and I realized this was something I needed to confront. I needed to get comfortable in being bad and learning from nothing. I needed to find something I'm bad at and feel safe when I fail. For a non-Minecraft speedrunner, Minecraft speedrunning is intimidating. There are so many strategies and theories you have to learn, and mechanically you need to be at a decent level for a fast completion. I had none of that. I was semi-decent at parkour, and I could take on the average Joe at PvP, but nothing that really gave me an edge in Minecraft speedrunning. And that's before all the mods you gotta download and the tech to learn, and with it being a male-dominated industry, there is a lot of room for procrastination. My church pastor once said, "Fear stops you from starting and discouragement stops you from continuing." You don't have to be religious to agree with this. Fear of not being valued for not being good enough, doubt that I can get to a place I am proud of, these are feelings and thoughts many people face. None of us are really alone.
What would you say to someone who wants to start MCSR and is too intimidated to be? Minecraft speedrunning is really, really hard to start. But everyone's bad for a really long time. And I think it's really normal. I don't know, I love seeing someone who's like bad or like just starting out or who doesn't know like the strats necessarily. I like seeing their progress. It's just so heartwarming because then you can see them getting like better and better and better.
Okay, this was semi-scripted. When I first stumbled across her stream, she shared the sentiment that people enjoy watching progress and improvement, and that the MCSR community is really supportive. At this point, I already decided I wanted to learn Minecraft speedrunning as my New Year's resolution. Watching her document her speedrunning progress live and be so comfortable in learning is really encouraging. She was on a similar boat, and I felt seen. I realized I was never alone. I remember thinking to myself, if I only had an ounce of that bravery, I can make it. Watching Fennec was a turning point for me. It turned this whole ordeal from a maybe to a Nike slogan. It was a long shot when I reached out to her about this one obscure clip, but she went live and repeated the sentiment, so there is still something for this part of the video. She was under no obligation to do it, so it was really nice of her to say this. Maybe I lied earlier about having no speedrun experience. It was true, I had never done a proper speedrun before. However, I had 4 years as an MCSR enjoyer. Back in 2021, I thought Curryway's videos were peak content. Honestly, I still watch some of Curryway's videos, but for some reason I only watch it when I'm doing the laundry specifically. I don't really know why, but my hypothesis is that it's family friendly enough for the big TV. I digress. Having watched MCSR from that era onwards also meant that I saw the meta shifts. From classic runs to bastion splits to calc or not to calc, slap cycles, 1 cycle, 0 cycles. I remember when a 4-bet was like, whoa. Having seen it all, I knew that speedrunning now is more mechanically difficult than it has ever been. However, it provided a formula to follow, and as long as I understood the formula, I should be able to beat the game. I am a very impatient person. Instead of starting the process on the 1st of January, I started on the 29th of November in 2024. Unfortunately, I don't really have any footage on any of this, as at the time I wanted it to be a personal experience without the pressure of performing well for a recording. Instead, I have this, a private Discord channel where I noted down my progress. Wow, this is like a trip down memory lane. So I will have downloaded everything except Jingle and Bowtie before the 29th of November. For the first couple of months, I focused on locking in all the mechanics of speedrunning. I first started with learning the L-shaped magma portals because it feels like one of the easier skills to learn. This was really good in boosting my confidence. Knowing I'll be discouraged if I didn't see immediate progress, starting the journey with something achievable was the correct play. Feeling confident in myself, I tackled lava portals and cave portals in the first few days. I don't think my times really changed all that much since. Next up, I learned how to one cycle. I might not have written it down, but I remember failing a number of times before being able to hit one. And when I finally got the timing right, I was ecstatic. It was probably like an 8-bet madness, but the feeling of success after failure was so satisfying, and it made it all worth it. I mean, here it did say that I was able to hit a 4-bet on the first day, so I guess the struggling wasn't too prolonged. Okay, fast forward a couple of days, I started learning bastion routes. Or is it routes? You know, the North American pronunciation really messed up my brain, so I'm gonna end up using both actually. The first 2 routes I learned were bridge and treasure. I picked those 2 as it seemed the most straightforward, and they had distinct features like the chalice or the bridge to help me identify where to enter and how to run it. Learning this wasn't easy. I believe I learned bridge first, learning the old method of pillaring up at the left rampart for the left triple. When that got comfortable, I then swapped to treasure. I remember treasure being terrifying when I hadn't gotten the muscle memory yet. Like, which block do I have to break? Where do I throw the gold? Where do I have to place the blocks if the trading hole generation was weird? I remember having to pre-place my blocks for the initial 2 gold blocks. My performance was inconsistent, but there was really only one path to take in treasure, which I enjoyed the straightforwardness of the route. As I got more comfortable with the mechanics of the game, I got more comfortable with learning new skills. Throwing myself in a deep end with treasure made the other aspects way easier, like blaze bedding, perch, maplers, housing, all came one after another. I was getting comfortable being a beginner again. This is so interesting looking back at my 2x1 portal times, because this is arguably where I gapped the most since I started. My current time for both is like half of what it was then. During the new year, I spent more time learning about the theoretical aspects of speedrunning. Right from the start, I made a conscious decision to learn speedrunning without calculators because it forced me to learn more about how vanilla Minecraft works. Learning about stronghold rings, axes, or triangulation for me was absolutely fundamental before leveling up to using a calculator. It ended up paying off because I had a sub 23 without calc, which made a sub 20 with calc all the more realistic. Oh boy, preemptive. That was a bit of a struggle. I had like no idea what I was looking at, what the percentage of the pie I should be looking for. It was one of the moments where I remembered why I selected MCSR as my new year goal. Speedrunning was difficult and confusing, but I wasn't gonna let that stop me anymore. I might not have started doing runs at this point, but sunk cost fallacy wouldn't allow me, and I was in too deep. During this time, I got confident in myself to actually execute a run. I ended up doing something called practice speedruns, where I would find a seed from speedrun.com and run it. And this was how it went. Okay, post commentary Tangley here. We're trying to get to the BT 8-8 instead of 9-9, wasting a little bit of time, 1 minute in, which is fine, I think. Wow, so much iron, amazing. Can you like hotkey faster? You're gonna take 1 tick of damage. And you take 1 tick of damage. You have 21 iron, you're mining stone with a wooden pickaxe.
Oh wait, I've got iron.
Yes, you do have iron, sister. And 7 minutes in, we're finding food at a desert village? What is going on? Guys, I found the magma ravine. Okay, you have your bucket at 9. Can you offhand it, please? Okay, thank you. And you scroll to 8? We have it on hotkey. On your mouse. Okay, 11 minutes enter with no blocks. I see the fort. We're not doing fort first. We are not doing fort first. Are you kidding me? I mean, I see the spawner. Yeah, that's what happens when you do fort first. You just die. We did. It wasn't pretty. I needed a new plan. I ended up allowing cheats to force myself to go through all the splits. Failed speed bridging? Just reset to where I fell and push on. Couldn't find the fort? Find out where the fort was and figure out how to parry for the spawner. Messed up the one cycle? Get more beds in creative and wait for the second perch. I made this spreadsheet noting down all the elements of the run that made it or broke it. During this time, I went from #unemployed graduate to #corporate slave. This came with a list of issues. When do I get to play? My only runs were barely sub 40, and I had less time to practice. I didn't even think about uploads during this time. The whole month of March passed, and practice maps left untouched. Seeds left unran. Was this it? Was my speedrunning career meant to fail as soon as it started? This message felt like a halt to speedrunning. I knew before getting into speedrunning that I could pull the plug if I really needed to. But the lack of time didn't alter my goals, it only slowed it down. The message was really a reminder to take my time. This was my progress, and I didn't have to push myself to the point where it was unsustainable. It was inching close to the 6-month mark. At this point, this became less of a challenge to be uncomfortable, to grow in somewhere new. Speedrunning became part of my daily schedule. I would do my practice runs every morning before work. The drive to improve my runs was not because I wanted to learn new skills anymore, but because I wanted to improve. Every minor improvement became exciting. A new PB was euphoric. The path to improvement now became methodological. Constantly finding room for improvement became fun. The feeling of taking another step forward was exhilarating. All this made me realize that the journey is really just a series of outcomes. Instead of taking pride in the outcome itself, which may fluctuate, I learned to appreciate the journey, how I got back up when a bad run happens, how I take minor wins when I execute something well. This brings us to today. Well, not really. From May till now, I've learned a lot, done a lot, smashed, PB after PB. I met some fellow speedrunners who have been such an encouragement. MCSR is still intimidating, but if there's one thing I learned is that I can carve my little safe corner and make it my own. Our range of comfort can only grow from discomfort. Upon reflection of this journey, I've come to realize that this was one massive YOLO mindset. Stop caring about what I would think in the future. Just do it and deal with the consequences later. Not saying that this is healthy for every scenario, but for this one it worked out. If there is one takeaway I can highlight amongst these reflections, is the Nike slogan, just do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little commentary or journal entry. I'm fast approaching the 1-year anniversary of when I decided to start speedrunning, which was around early October, and I wanted to make something out of my speedrunning journey so far since I kept it mostly private. So let me know if this resonated with you in the comments, and feedback is always appreciated.